The investigation that never aired. I spent 17 years helping expose child predators. I thought I knew what evil looked like. Then we met Stephen. And what happened that night was so disturbing. The investigation never aired. The footage was sealed. The show was canceled. And I was told to never talk about it. But I'm going to tell you what happened. It started in a chat room. Stephen was 42, unemployed, recently divorced, and living with his parents. Our decoy, Mandy, was a 20-year-old theater student pretending to be 14. Within days, Stephen was sending her sexual messages. He told her their relationship had to remain secret. Then something strange started happening. Stephen became obsessed with death. He asked her, "Have you seen Bloody Mary? Is there anyone dead you'd want to talk to? How do you want to die?" Then he sent her a picture of a Ouija board. He said he had bought it at a yard sale, and he wanted to bring it when they met. When we asked why, he replied, "Because you have good energy. They like that." We thought it was just another predator being weird. We were wrong. A few days later, Stephen arrived at our sting house carrying the Ouija board. He was almost an hour late. But when he finally walked through the door, everything seemed normal. Until he insisted that Mandy turn off the lights. He lit candles. They sat at the table and placed their fingers on the planchette. "Are there any spirits that want to speak to us?" Nothing happened. Stephen tried again. "If you're here, give us a sign." Then the planchette moved, only a few inches. Mandy pulled her hand away. Stephen whispered, "It's a spirit." One of our crew members laughed. He thought Stephen had moved it himself. Then the planchette moved again. This time, neither of them was touching it. It slowly dragged itself across the board and stopped on yes. Everyone in the production room went silent. Then it moved again. 7 numbers. 7, 2, 3, 1, 9, 9, 4. Mandy went completely still, because those numbers were her real birthday. Not the fake birthday we had given our decoy character. Her actual birthday. We checked every message, every phone call, every piece of information we had given Stephen. There was nothing. He shouldn't have known, but somehow, he did. Then the planchette moved again. It spelled a name. Elizabeth. Mandy stared at Stephen. "How do you know her name?" Stephen looked genuinely confused. "I don't." Then the planchette moved again. Much faster this time. It spelled Peyton. That name meant something to me. Everything inside me went cold. Peyton was my sister. She had disappeared when I was young. It took 5 days to find her. Her killer eventually took his own life. No one outside my family knew the details. No one on our production team knew. And Stephen certainly shouldn't have known. Then the temperature in the room suddenly dropped. One of the crew members noticed it too. "Why is it freezing in here?" I could see my own breath. Then, every camera went black. We heard Mandy scream, "Get eyes on the decoy." Everyone scrambled to restore the feeds. A few seconds later, the cameras came back. The front door was wide open. Mandy was gone. Stephen was standing alone in the kitchen. And he was staring directly into one of our hidden cameras. His eyes were wide open, but he looked completely lifeless. Then I heard a voice, not through my earpiece, inside my head. You already know. I froze. Nobody else reacted. I decided to go inside. One of the crew members grabbed my arm. Isaac, don't. Yes, I do. I entered the dining room. The temperature was freezing. Stephen slowly turned toward me. Stephen, I want to talk to you. Then he spoke, but his lips didn't move. I want to talk to you about your choices tonight. He had just repeated my entire confrontation script. Word for word, I couldn't speak. How did you? I know. Then he asked, Isaac, why are you here? I tried to stay calm, but then he said the words I had spent my entire life trying to forget. I know how you felt when you screamed her name in the woods. My blood ran cold. Nah. Do you remember learning that Peyton was right down the street the entire time? I couldn't answer. You collect broken families, he said, because you can't save everyone. Then he started describing my sister, her burial, her purple stuffed rabbit, things Stephen could never have known. And then he said, she was buried alone. I broke. Before I could react, Stephen lunged at me. I hit the floor. His weight crushed my chest. He leaned over me. What were your last words to her? I couldn't breathe. What did your mother sound like when she identified the body? My vision started going black. Then, bang! Officers stormed into the room. They pulled Stephen off me. For a moment, everything seemed normal, until Stephen broke free. He grabbed an officer's gun. Everyone raised their weapons. Stephen pointed the gun outward. Then he started screaming, "My hands!" He tried to lower the gun. He couldn't. "Why can't I move?" I stepped toward him. "Stephen, you're okay. Put the gun down." He looked terrified. "Did I hurt anyone?" "No." "Please." His voice cracked. "Don't let him take me again." Then his arms slowly lifted. The gun turned toward his own head. He fought against it. His entire body shook. "Make it stop!" I ran toward him. "Stephen, no!" He pulled the trigger. Silence. The investigation ended that night. Stephen was officially ruled a suicide by cop. The media destroyed our show. People protested outside the Sting House. Our entire operation was shut down. But there was something the public never saw. The footage. Every camera had recorded what happened. The tape was labeled, "Never to be viewed, duplicated, or destroyed." I've never seen that footage again, and I don't know where it is, but sometimes I wonder what would happen if someone watched it. Because there's one thing I learned that night. The monsters I spent 17 years hunting weren't always human. Evil doesn't care about laws. It doesn't care about prison. It doesn't need a reason. Sometimes, all it needs is for someone to answer.